Have you ever been a victim of ragging, or perhaps you've witnessed it happening? Let's delve into the subject to gain a clearer understanding. Ragging, a term that might bring a smirk to some faces, is unfortunately a common occurrence in schools and colleges worldwide. It's often seen as a rite of passage, a form of initiation, or even a way to toughen up the newbies. But it's much more than that. It's an act that can have severe emotional and psychological repercussions on the victims. The fear, the humiliation, the distress it can cause is immense and often goes unnoticed. It's not just about the physical torment. The mental scars can last a lifetime. Victims may suffer from anxiety, depression, or even develop suicidal tendencies. But did you know that ragging is not just morally wrong, but also legally punishable? Yes, you heard it right. Ragging can land you in some serious trouble with the law. This isn't just about school rules or college policies. We're talking about actual legal consequences here. From local city ordinances to state laws and even national legislation, ragging is an offense that can lead to punitive actions. Let's start with the basics. What is ragging, legally speaking? It's defined as any act that causes or is likely to cause annoyance, hardship, physical or psychological harm, or apprehension of fear or shame in a student. It's any act that affects the mental, physical, or academic performance of a student. It includes teasing, abusing, or playing practical jokes on or causing hurt to such student, or even asking a student to do any act or perform something which such student will not carry out in the ordinary course. And the punishments, they are as diverse as they are severe. At a local level, you could be looking at hefty fines, community service, and even a mark on your permanent record. Move up to state laws, and you could face more severe penalties, like larger fines, probation, or even imprisonment. On a national level, things get even grimmer. If found guilty of ragging under national laws, one could face imprisonment up to 3 years, or a fine which could extend to $50,000. Or both. And that's not even considering the damage to your reputation, your academic career, and your future prospects. Remember, ragging is not a harmless prank or a rite of passage, it's a crime. It can destroy lives, including your own. The law takes it seriously, and so should you. So the next time you think about ragging someone, remember the serious legal consequences. It's not just about the potential harm to the victim, it's about the potential harm to you too. Think twice, act wisely. Still think ragging is harmless fun? Let's look at some real-life cases where ragging led to severe legal consequences. Our first story takes us to a prestigious university in India. A first-year engineering student was subjected to brutal ragging by his seniors. They not only humiliated him in front of others, but also physically assaulted him. The victim's parents lodged a complaint with the university and local police. Not only were the culprits expelled from the university, but they also faced criminal charges, leading to a years-long legal battle. Next, we travel to a high school in the United States. A group of students decided it would be amusing to rag a new student. They forced him to perform degrading tasks and constantly bullied him. The victim's parents took the matter to the school board and the local police. The students involved were suspended and their parents were held legally accountable for their children's actions. The case was widely publicized, leading to a significant backlash against the school for failing to prevent ragging. In another incident, a university in Australia expelled 5 students for ragging. These students had been tormenting several first-year students, causing significant psychological distress. When the victims came forward, the university took swift action, expelling the perpetrators and offering counseling services to the victims. The expelled students faced criminal charges, and their future educational and career prospects were severely impacted. And these are just a few examples. There are countless similar cases worldwide, each one a stark reminder of the serious legal consequences of ragging. This is not a prank, nor is it a rite of passage. It's a crime that can lead to expulsion, criminal charges, and a tarnished reputation. Ragging doesn't just harm the victims, it ruins the lives of the perpetrators as well. The legal consequences can be severe, impacting not just their present but also their future. A moment's fun can lead to a lifetime of regret. These cases are a stark reminder that ragging is a serious crime, not a joke. Now that we've established the gravity of ragging, let's talk about what you can do if you're a victim or a witness. Ragging is a serious offense, and it's important to know how to report it effectively. The first step is to identify who to report to. This could be a teacher, a counselor, a school principal, or a college dean. In many institutions, there may also be a designated anti-ragging committee or a student welfare officer. If you're unsure, check your school or college's anti-ragging policy or student handbook. When you're ready to make your report, try to include as much detail as possible. Describe what happened, where and when it occurred, and who was involved. If there were any witnesses, it might be helpful to include their names too. Remember, it's not about blaming or accusing, it's about relaying the facts as they happened. If you have any evidence, such as text messages, emails, or videos, be sure to include that as well. This can greatly help in the investigation process. But be careful not to share these materials with anyone else to avoid spreading rumors or causing further harm. After you've submitted your report, there should be an official investigation. This may involve interviews with you, the alleged perpetrators, and any witnesses. Your institution should also provide you with support services, such as counseling, to help you cope with the situation. The process can be daunting, but remember, you're not alone. Many institutions have confidentiality policies to protect those who report ragging. And even if it feels scary, speaking out is a crucial step in stopping ragging and creating a safer, more inclusive environment. If you're not satisfied with how your institution is handling the situation, don't hesitate to reach out to local authorities. In many places, ragging is not just a school or college issue, it's a legal one too. Remember, speaking up against ragging is a brave and necessary action. Let's break the silence, stand together, and say no to ragging, because everyone deserves to learn in a safe and respectful environment. Schools and colleges play a crucial role in preventing ragging, but how exactly can they do this? The first step is awareness. Institutions can hold regular sessions to educate students about the ill effects of ragging. They can invite guest speakers, show documentaries, or even conduct role plays to illustrate the psychological and physical harm that ragging can inflict. It's important to emphasize that ragging isn't just harmless fun or a rite of passage. It's a form of bullying that can have serious repercussions. The next step is strict enforcement of anti-ragging policies. Schools and colleges should have a zero-tolerance approach towards ragging. This means clear rules that are communicated to all students, with consequences for those who break them. It's not enough to just have these policies in place. They need to be enforced. This could involve surprise checks, monitoring of common ragging hotspots, and prompt action when incidents are reported. Another important measure is providing support for victims. Schools and colleges should have a safe and confidential system for reporting ragging. Counselors should be available to provide emotional support and guidance to victims. In some cases, legal aid might also be necessary. In addition to these, institutions can also foster a culture of respect and empathy. This can be done through workshops, team-building activities, and mentoring programs. When students learn to respect each other's differences and understand the value of empathy, they are less likely to engage in ragging. Lastly, let's not forget the role of teachers and staff. They should be trained to recognize signs of ragging and to intervene appropriately. They can also set the tone for the entire school or college by modeling respectful behavior and promoting a positive learning environment. Remember, the aim here isn't to create an atmosphere of fear, but one of mutual respect and understanding. After all, schools and colleges are meant to be safe spaces that nurture learning and personal growth. Together, we can create a ragging-free environment in our educational institutions. So, what have we learned today? We've taken a deep dive into the issue of ragging, unmasking it as a serious concern in our schools and colleges. We've defined ragging, shattering the misconception that it's harmless fun, and highlighted its dark side, the psychological, emotional, and sometimes physical harm it inflicts on victims. We've explored the legal consequences, underscoring the fact that ragging is a punishable offense, not a petty misdemeanor. We've shared real-life cases of ragging, reminding you that these are not isolated incidents, but pervasive problems. We've laid out a step-by-step guide on how to report ragging, empowering you to take action rather than be a silent spectator. and we've underscored the crucial role of schools and colleges in preventing ragging, urging them to create safe, inclusive environments for all students. Remember, ragging is a crime, not a form of entertainment. Let's stand together to put an end to it.